We actually have Archfiends for you today. That is so cool to see that actually working. Goblins, goblins, goblins are everywhere as well. And don't worry, we have some more Yubel for you too. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more honest content. Do you remember the Archfiend pawns that existed back in the day? Well, one of the duelists out of Japan decided, hey, let's go ahead and try this. But they're also playing like this Berserk Archfiend in here. Target two face-up monsters you control, including a fiend. Special summon this card from your hand if you do destroy those monsters. Okay, and when a card or monster is destroyed by this card's previous effect, you can target an equal number of face-up monsters your opponent controls. This card gains attack equal to those monsters' total original attack till the end of this turn. That just gets really big. This is probably an OTK machine, if I had to guess. You know, you put the pressure on your opponent and you go. Down here in the extra deck, I see we're playing a Goblins Crazy Beast as well. And then I see that we're playing a Pyren as well. And we are also playing the Master King Archfiend. You know, it is really cool that we do get the chance to see Master King Archfiend actually being relevant inside of its own deck, but it's not like this deck is an incredibly strong gas combo deck that's going to be able to stand up to the meta. No, it's just a really cute use of all of the Archfiend cards kind of coming together and showcasing that, you know, we can actually do something. The Dispatcherazzi is also seeing play in here as well. You know, I dream of a day that we do see some new Archfiend support actually functioning with the old stuff. Like the Des Rook, like the whole chessboard was a really cool concept, but the problem was it was too weak to really stand up to its time. I mean, we never really had any real new cards to push towards it, except for Master King Archfiend was really about the only real thing that we had going for us. And even Master King wasn't that incredibly strong. Like, honestly, this card was a little bit of a miss for its time as well. So, very cute concept. I like it a lot. Next up here, we have what? Goblins, 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 man. I see that we are playing, finally, somebody's decided that we're going to actually play the Goblin package in here. Now, keep in mind that most of the Goblin stuff all acts as some sort of a typical extender, but if this is in your hand, detach one from a monster on the field, special summon this card from your hand, and on normal special, you add a Goblin Rider spell trap from your deck to your hand, so you can typically go search for the Golden Arrival, which adds up one from deck to hand. And we also have the Goblin Rider Mondon Normal Special. You can special a Goblin monster from your hand, so another free extender. And if this is in your graveyard, detach a material from a monster on the field. Special summon this card by banishment when it leaves the field. Well, that's fine. And then, of course, we do play one copy of the Goblin Rider Big Hand here, because, you know, this is going to be 2 level 3s to make it. Gets a free Goblin, and then you can feed off a material and continue extending on along with your day. The fact that you have all these different moving pieces that are seeing play in this, I mean, your Horus package gives you a discard outlet. Your Phantom Knight package is pretty locked in here for what you're going to be getting, and that's pretty good. And we're also playing, I see, the Armored Xyz package in here as well. Man, just to be able to make the full armored play, but we're not even playing the trap. So that's kind of interesting in terms of the overall deck build that they're attempting to do. Okay, next up here, we have this Crystal Beast pile. And this is really something here, because we are playing Protoss. And Protoss is a pretty insanely broken card in and itself. Like, we've all seen the crazy things that Protoss can do. It's a reason why it's banned here in the TCG. But this deck is really taking full advantage of these Crystal Beast plays. I also see that we're playing a Goblinberg with Reynolds in here as well. This is interesting. Yeah, there's the Assault. Technically, Golden Rule is an equip card, so that is something that you'll be able to do. You'll be able to target this adds back a equip spell as banished from your grave, so you can actually bounce the Golden Rule back off of this. This is actually incredibly cool that somebody has found a way to typically abuse Golden Rule, all because it's an equip card. Like, it still boggles my mind that they decided to make Golden Rule an equip of all things. So basically, 47 cards is your pile. You're not going too crazy hard, at least trying out some of the other ideas, but I think everything that you've got going for you here is pretty straightforward. Like, understand that maybe it's not going to be the craziest deck build in the world, but man, oh man, like, the fact that you have Crystal Beast going this hard, and then you're secretly able to reverse engineer in Reynolds to be able to pick up the golden rules while still being able to go through, well, I think most of your thing here is because you have access to Invoker Dempsey. You actually, the fact that you're using your extra deck resources to be able to make the assault is, I think, by far the most hilarious thing, because Crystal Beasts are notoriously good at getting Xyz on the field, no problem. So this is incredibly cool to see. Next up here, we have this Yubel pile with the illusion monsters. Now, I have not seen anybody trying a concept like this yet. Actually, I think that this is pretty cool. Actually, the OCG has been testing out a lot of Horus versions with the illusion stuff. Meanwhile, the TCG is just play branded in everything. Look, it's fusion materials, right, guys? Like, look at this. Yes and no. I do see that this build is playing a copy of Shay Ren in here, just mainly for the option to mill 3. That way, you know, you can put the additional names in the graveyard, and you're kind of off to the races after that. Like, once you establish down all of the names, your deck doesn't really care. Also, you know, for whatever we're doing for the Yubel package, oh, also, this is a Fiend monster. You might not know that. This is also a Fiend. So now that we've discussed that, yeah, I had to sigh there for a second, because you're putting Yubel on the field as an inconvenience to your opponent in this deck. And the fact that you're able to revive the Yubel too and put this back in the way of your opponent is hilarious. Also, with Nightmare Pain, you're going to be forcing your opponent to battle that Yubel, and then now the Yubel's got the battle phase reflection up. It's very chaotic from there. I think it's hilarious, though, that you can actually see that. Next up here, we have an Inspector Border 60 card stun list. All right, and yes, we're only playing 2 copies of Grand Manju. You would think if we're maximizing the deck to this crazy of numbers, you figured 60 cards, you're like, all right, you might want more Grand Manjus in the deck to be able to see it, but no, they opted to not see it. I do see that we are playing the Golden Castle Strongbird with the Hextrude, all the standard huge monsters that you want to be able to pull aggro on your opponent and make sure that, you know, you can start winning the game. That's all pretty fun and dandy. I see we're playing double rivalry down here. Post side decking, you bring in some dark bribes. Don't know how often you're going to see that, but the other big thing here is the fact that you are seeing Morganite in this deck. All right, and also we play 2 runic spells, just 2 runic spells. Whew. We were feeling a little bit dangerous today. This build did not really want to see any of these outs. Hold on, I want to see what these hands look like. Okay, well, Golden Castle plus Grand Manju, that's pretty cool, I guess. Morganite, hand's a brick. Yikes, I don't like that. Eater Millions plus Morganite plus Compulse plus Punishment, I guess Pot of Prosperity too. Okay, like maybe this does have some outs going for it, but I feel like most of the hands are not going to be extremely good. Like, you're just asking for dead draws for days with a pile like this. And our last list we actually have here is more Goblins. But this build is playing a nice little Punk package going for it as well. Remember, Punk has one of the oldest levels of synergy with this stuff, all right? Like, you're reverse engineering, climbing up, and I mean, a Shurikaiser, the big Goblins, Crazy Beast. You have everything that you need put into a build relatively easy, have massive access to it, and you should be able to toggle through pretty much everything that you need to. I also love the fact that we are playing a Nian Nian in here as well. Thank you, Itelly. Being able to have access to, you know, either sort of Itelly target, either you're going down the Zia Min line, or you're going to see the Nian Nian to kind of help you put pressure on your opponent. And of course, we are playing 1 copy of the Goblin Rider Stampede as well. This is cute. It's really nice to see a lot of the Goblin ideas kind of getting flushed out here, and you actually get the chance to see them playing them, because so far, this archetype has been so slept on. It's crazy. So what do you guys think? Please, if you comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.